back, everyone, to YGO Pulse. I'm David, and today I'm coming at you with another Speed Duel deck profile. So this deck was actually requested by some people in our Discord, which you should totally join and check out. I'll leave it in the description below. But it's the newest take on Relinquished. Relinquished was a very popular deck when Speed Duels first came out. People really liked it. People like Pegasus decks as it is. And using some of the newer cards that came out in the new structure decks, I feel like we now have good enough ways to keep the game going long enough in order to really get your Relinquished off and really put them at a disadvantage to where you can start whittling down their resources and really getting in that damage where they couldn't before. So we'll get started here. First up, we're going to use Thousand Eyes Spell as the skill. So, let's see what it does here. Activate this skill during your main phase. Once per turn, you can discard a card and use the following effects, but you cannot conduct your battle phase this turn. It lets you ritual summon by attributing a monster from your hand or field whose level is 1 or more. Also flip this card over, but we don't really use that as much. You may use it, but what's cool about this skill that the deck couldn't do before is now you can fusion summon. Fusion summon 1,000 Eyes Restrict from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as fusion materials and flip this over. So Relinquished is pretty cool because you could suck up their stuff, but we'll go ahead and just do the extra deck because this is because of 1,000 Eyes Restrict, now you can lock down the field. This card and some of the back row, this is what gives the deck a bit of an edge. It slows the game down to a point where they can't attack and you're taking stuff. So you can get a Relinquished on the field and you can get this for free. The rest of the extra deck is pretty much the basic Waking the Dragon extra deck. We actually don't play Waking the Dragon, this deck. But if you're going to play it, you might as well bait the opponent, right? We only play one because in order to get this, you need Thousand Eyes Idol. And really, you're not going to get that more than once a duel. So that's the extra deck. On to the main deck. We play 3 Relinquished. Just the bread and butter of the deck, this whole thing, you know. It's a level 1 ritual, so it's one of the better rituals. Thousand Eyes Idol. You can use this to ritual Relinquish from your hand, but usually just going to hold it for the fusion. 3 Sphere Karibo. These got reprinted as a common in the structure deck, so it makes this deck a lot more affordable for people who may have wanted to play it in the past and couldn't afford it. It can be used as Ritual from the Grave. It's also a good stall card. Next up, we got 3 Senju. This card's cool. Lets you search the ritual monster, get this in your hand, and you play this over the ritual spell searcher because your skill technically would let you ritual summon. So you really, as long as you're seeing Relinquished the monster, you're in pretty good shape in this deck. Next up, 2 Jin. So traps are a big thing. This format, they are a very big thing. This is one of the few decks that can be immune to it. That's why I like this build we've got so far. You definitely run this. It's a level 1, but it protects you from traps. And that's pretty much what the whole meta is at this point in speed dueling. 2 Twister. Get rid of their just stally back row or anything that's giving you trouble. Or if you suck up like a face down monster, you can just... Or if anything that you want to get rid of, if you want to use it again, you can just pop your own card if you absolutely have to. That's equipped. 2 Zelma. I know a lot of the decks in Speed Duel now seem to be using this and Nightmare Wheel and some of these other cards, but even though it is like a lot of staples, kind of like back when Yu-Gi-Oh first started in the regular Yu-Gi-Oh, I do feel like these cards have given the older decks at least the option to be better. Instead of other decks just being far superior in what they do, like Moth, because it's as an engine to like just insect and stuff. These cards, I feel like, give old decks, like as you can tell, the old decks I've been profiling, at least now there's these engines that give you something to defend yourself with while trying to get these older strategies off that might not be as broken. This also can be used to ritual summon. The burn damage is good. Nightmare Wheel, you're a stall deck, so you know, get restrict on the field, start burning them, nobody can do anything. Lastly, Floodgate Trap Hole. You can suck up face down monsters, though you won't gain anything from them obviously, but you'll be okay with that if you've got this on the field or something else. Just a good way not to lose to big boss monsters. And lastly, we got the side deck. Lava Golem, I've grown to like this, especially, you know, against the big beater decks that spam a lot, or some decks just want to stall and sit on their monsters. So at least this card, now if they have a stall deck, you can at least summon over their stuff, and the longer they stall, the better it is for you, because it's a lot easier to burn 4K in 4 turns than it is to stall my deck out in like 10 turns, you know what I'm saying? Golden Ladybug, it's a tech I've been using just against burn decks. It also gives you an advantage if you're not currently being burned. So it just kind of 1-for-1s their Nightmare Wheels or Mask of whatever it is. Visor Shock. This is just a good tech card. Since we are a stally deck and we have Restrict and we have Relinquished, this we contribute off one of our dead monsters, and then return all their back row back, and then we have a clear field to swing, which is nice. It's just good against a lot of these other decks that are playing a bunch of back row. And the last two, Dust Tornado, can be more twisters or wild, whatever it is, but I think in this deck, you know, Dust Tornado, it's all dependent on where you play the meta. I pretty much build my side decks based off what I can assume would be at the top tables at the speed duel side events and stuff at YCSs. But anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you like me going back and looking at some of the older strategies and trying to make them run smoother for what it would be the best decks now. I think we do a pretty good job about that. I do thank you for watching the speed duels. They are I think right now they're my favorite content. I've been making a lot more of them. So if you don't like speed duels, I understand. I wish you would try it. It is a lot funner than people would think, because these decks have strategies, like real strategies. So instead of every deck trying to say, oh, I'm just trying to put up an unbreakable board no matter what that means, in this deck you've got a win con, and you know what the win con is, and you're just trying to do the best thing you can to get to it. So anyway, thank you for watching. Please subscribe, hit like, and comment below. Thank you very much.